Hello, Army! Have you watched the latest episode of Are You Sure Season 2 yet? If not, you need to watch it immediately because there's a moment that truly shocked and saddened all of us. So here's what happened. Jimin and Jungkook were having the time of their lives exploring the beautiful Swiss Alps, enjoying the fresh mountain air, and suddenly they received a video call from someone that made them both scream in surprise. Who do you think it was? It was RM. Yes, our beloved BTS leader was also in Switzerland at the exact same time as Jimin and Jungkook. What kind of coincidence is this? Just imagine, out of all the countries in the world, out of all the times in the year, why did they have to be in the same place at almost the same time? This is like a Korean drama scenario that's too good to be true. But sadly, like most Korean dramas, there's a twist that breaks our hearts. And in today's video, I'm going to thoroughly discuss this touching moment, why RM couldn't meet Jimin and Jungkook, and how their reactions made ARMY all over the world experience an incredible emotional roller coaster. But before we continue, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss the latest BTS updates. And drop in the comments section whether you also watched this episode and felt as sad as I did. Okay, let's get into it. So the story goes, Jimin and Jungkook were relaxing on the balcony of their accommodation, which directly faced the spectacular Alpine mountains. The view was literally like something from a postcard, guys. White snow covering the mountain peaks, clear blue skies, and air that looked so fresh. The two of them were resting after a full day of activities, from paragliding that made their hearts drop, skiing on steep slopes, to trying various unique Swiss dishes. You know how active Jimin and Jungkook are when traveling, right? They never want to stay still, always looking for new exciting and challenging experiences. Suddenly, Jimin's phone rang. At first, he thought it might be from staff or their manager wanting to update their schedule. But once he saw the name that appeared on the screen, Jimin's eyes immediately widened. He screamed, calling Jungkook, who was eating snacks in the room. Jungkook, come here quickly. It's RM Hyung. Jungkook immediately ran out with his mouth still full of food, almost choking because he was in such a hurry. Their expressions were truly priceless. This was the most genuine reaction we've ever seen from them. Once the video call connected, RM's face appeared on screen with his characteristic wide smile. He looked relaxed with slightly messy hair, probably just woke up or came back from outdoor activities. The background showed a modern hotel room with a large window displaying the beautiful Swiss cityscape. Surprise, said RM cheerfully. Jimin and Jungkook were still silent for a moment, their brains processing this information. Then they both screamed almost simultaneously, Hyung. Where are you right now? RM laughed at their reaction. I'm in Switzerland too, he answered casually. I'm on a solo trip, wanting to find inspiration and have some me time after all the busyness. Jimin immediately brought his face closer to the screen, eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. Hyung, seriously? You're in Switzerland too right now? Which city? We're in the mountains now near Zermatt. Jungkook was already getting excited, imagining how fun it would be if they could meet and hang out together. Their conversation flowed naturally and warmly. This is chemistry built over more than a decade, a friendship that has gone through various tests and challenges. RM asked about their journey, what activities they had done, and how it felt to enjoy freedom after 18 months of mandatory military service. Jimin enthusiastically told about their thrilling paragliding experience. Hyung, I almost fainted, you know. Once we flew and I looked down, my head immediately got dizzy. But Jungkook was screaming with excitement like he was on a roller coaster. I wasn't screaming. I was just expressing joy with a volume slightly louder than usual. Jungkook defended with a deliberately serious face, making RM and Jimin burst out laughing. Moments like this make fans fall in love with BTS because they never lose their playful and genuine side despite being world superstars. Jungkook then took over the phone and started showing the surrounding scenery. Hyung, look, this is the Matterhorn. The view is absolutely insane, right? The photos can't capture its real beauty. RM looked impressed with the view Jungkook showed. Wow, you guys chose a really great place. I'm just in the city, so the view isn't that spectacular. Just buildings and streets mostly, he said with a slightly envious tone. But then he added, but the museums and art galleries here are amazing. I've visited several places and found lots of inspiration for music. Indeed, it has become RM's trademark to always seek inspiration wherever he is, whether from nature, art, or interactions with new people. After chatting for a while about their respective experiences, Jungkook suddenly threw out a question that changed the atmosphere. Hyung, we can meet, right? Where are you now? We can come there or you come here. It would be so much fun if the three of us could hang out. The enthusiasm in Jungkook's voice was so real, his eyes sparkling with hope like a child who just got good news. Jimin immediately nodded enthusiastically, yes, Hyung. We can take the train or rent a car or whatever. Distance doesn't matter. What's important is that we can meet. They were already planning various activities if RM could join. Jimin suggested they could hike together in the mountains tomorrow morning while enjoying the spectacular sunrise. Jungkook added the idea of trying the famous Swiss cheese fondue at a local restaurant they found yesterday. They even imagined the funny photos and videos they could make for memories. Their energy and excitement were so contagious that even viewers watching this episode hoped this impromptu reunion would really happen. However, RM's expression slowly changed. The wide smile that previously adorned his face began to fade, replaced by a look full of regret. There was a pause that felt very long, even though it was probably only a few seconds, and in that silence, hope began to crumble. RM took a long breath before finally answering in a soft voice full of regret. Guys, I also really want to meet you. You don't know how happy I am hearing you're enjoying this trip. But unfortunately, tomorrow morning I have to fly to Paris. My schedule has been fixed for a long time and can't be changed. Can you imagine how Jimin and Jungkook felt hearing that? Their facial expressions immediately changed drastically. The smile on Jimin's face slowly disappeared, replaced by a slightly open mouth in shock and disappointment. Jungkook's shoulders that were previously upright suddenly looked drooped. He stared at the phone screen with an empty gaze, as if his brain was still processing the information. Tomorrow morning? Jimin repeated in a voice that was almost a whisper. So we can't meet at all? RM nodded with a truly regretful face. I'm sorry. I have several important meetings in Paris that were scheduled months ago. There are discussions about music collaboration with several European producers, and I also promised to attend the opening of an art exhibition that I can't miss. You know yourself, once I've committed, I can't just cancel it. RM's explanation was very reasonable and professional, but it still didn't reduce the disappointment felt by Jimin and Jungkook. They were so close, in the same country, maybe only a few hours by train, but the wrong timing made that meeting impossible. Jungkook tried to hide his disappointment by laughing a little, although it sounded slightly forced. Hyung, why of all times, you have to be in Switzerland now, but your schedule is tomorrow morning. This is like a drama plot made to torture viewers, he protested half-jokingly. RM could only smile bitterly. I'm thinking the same thing, Kuka. Life is sometimes full of bad timing. But that's how it is. We have to be professional and respect the commitments we've made to others. Jimin tried to be more mature and understanding, although it was clear he was also very disappointed. We understand, Hyung. Work is number one. Besides, when we're back in Korea, we can definitely meet, right? Or maybe, Hyung can change your schedule and fly to Vietnam with us? We're going there next week. His idea made Jungkook's eyes sparkle again with hope. But RM just shook his head slowly with a very regretful smile. I have to go straight back to Seoul after Paris because there's a recording session already scheduled with a producer for the group album we're preparing. Trust me, if I could, I would definitely change all my schedules to meet you guys, RM explained sincerely. And indeed, who could blame him? As a professional artist and BTS leader, RM has very big responsibilities. He can't just cancel important meetings or neglect his commitments just because there's an opportunity to hang out with friends, even though those friends are his own group members who are like family. Their conversation continued with a slightly more serious tone. RM began telling about what he had been working on. I'm exploring a lot of things for new music. In Paris later, I'll meet with several producers who have worked with big artists from Europe. We'll discuss collaboration possibilities and exchange ideas about the sound we want to create. I also want to learn about their approach to music production, which is said to be different from the approach in Korea or America. RM's eyes sparkled when talking about music, his passion that never fades. Jimin and Jungkook listened attentively, their disappointment slowly diverted by RM's enthusiasm. I'm also reading a lot about art movements in Europe, especially those that happened in Paris in the early 20th century. Many revolutionary ideas were born from there, and I think we can adapt their philosophy into our music. Imagine if we could create something that's not only pleasant to hear, but also has strong depth and meaning. RM continued with increasingly sparkling eyes. Jungkook, who is also passionate about music, was immediately interested. Hyung, after you meet those producers, can I join the discussion? I also want to learn a lot about music production and maybe contribute some ideas. RM immediately nodded enthusiastically. Of course. In fact, I hope you all can be involved. The album we're preparing is a group album, so input from all members is very important. We have to create something that represents all of us, not just one or two people. Jimin added, I also want to be involved, Hyung. Maybe I can help with vocal arrangement or choreography concept. We have to make a comeback that's truly memorable, that can make ARMY all over the world speechless. Their enthusiasm in discussing BTS's future music plans was very inspiring. Although there was disappointment because they couldn't meet, at least they had a common goal to aim for, something bigger than just hanging out or vacationing together. RM then shared some updates about other members that made Jimin and Jungkook more excited. Oh yeah, I video called with Jin Hyung yesterday. He's really busy with his new variety show. He said the response is incredibly good and he's really enjoying the format. J-Hope is also preparing something big for his solo comeback, but he said it's still a secret and will surprise us all later. Hearing news about their Hyungs made Jimin and Jungkook smile widely. Then how about V-Hyung? He's shooting a new drama, right? Jungkook asked curiously. RM nodded. Taeyong is fully focused on acting. He said this is the most challenging role he's ever gotten, but he's very excited. And Youngie Hyung, as usual, practically lives in the studio. He's producing for several artists and also preparing to release his new music. Hearing that all members were being productive and pursuing their respective passions made the atmosphere more cheerful. The topic shifted to bigger BTS reunion plans. Hyung, for the 2026 comeback, do we have a concrete plan yet? Jimin asked seriously. RM looked thoughtful before answering. There are several plans being discussed with the company. What's certain is we'll release the group album we've been preparing for a long time, and most likely there will be a world tour too. But all of this is still in the planning stage. What's clear is that our comeback later has to be bigger and better than ever. RM's words made the anticipation even higher, not only for Jimin and Jungkook, but also for all ARMY watching this episode. Imagine, guys, after quite a long hiatus, BTS will come back with something bigger and better. We have to practice hard again, right, Hyung? Jungkook said with determination. After not performing together for so long, it will definitely take time to sync again. RM laughed at Jungkook's concern. You worry too much, Kuka. Our chemistry has been built for years. It won't just disappear. Towards the end of the video call, the atmosphere became more emotional. RM looked at the screen with a deep gaze. Guys, I want you to know something. Seeing you two able to enjoy time together like this, explore the world, and just being yourselves without any pressure, it makes me very happy. We've been through a lot together, from harsh trainee days, debut full of uncertainty, to becoming one of the biggest groups in the world. You deserve all the happiness in the world. RM's sincere words made Jimin look a little teary-eyed. He bit his lower lip, trying to hold back emotions that were starting to overflow. Jungkook also looked touched, although he tried to hide it by smiling widely. Hyung, don't make me cry. This is supposed to be a fun vacation, Jimin protested with a slightly trembling voice. RM laughed a little. Sorry, I'm too sentimental sometimes. But seriously, I'm proud of you both. And I can't wait for all of us to gather again and create magic together. Jungkook then took over to close the conversation with a lighter tone. Okay, Hyung, enjoy your time in Paris. Learn a lot from those producers, and don't forget to bring souvenirs for us. We'll also continue our adventure in Vietnam next week. Let's keep in touch and share stories, okay? RM nodded with a warm smile. Deal. You guys be careful there too. Don't get sick or injured. And Jimin, please don't almost faint again if there are extreme sports, he said teasingly. Hyung, I didn't almost faint. I was just a little dizzy because of altitude. Jimin defended, making everyone laugh. Joking moments like this show how natural their relationship is, without any pretense or acting for camera. They are just being themselves, genuine friends who care about each other deeply. Okay, I believe your version, RM said while still laughing. Anyway, I really have to go now. There are several things I need to prepare for tomorrow. But thank you for this call. It really made my day. Before really ending the call, they exchanged promises. Hyung, promise okay. Once we're all back to Korea, we have to make time to hang out properly. No matter how packed our schedules are, friendship has to remain a priority, Jungkook said seriously. RM raised his pinky to the camera. Pinky promise. We'll make it happen. BTS isn't just a group, we're family. And family always finds time for each other. Jimin and Jungkook also raised their pinkies, and although separated by screen, that gesture felt very meaningful. Love you guys. Take care and have fun, RM said with a final wave. Love you too, Hyung. See you soon. Jimin and Jungkook replied almost simultaneously while waving energetically. The phone screen finally went black, leaving Jimin and Jungkook sitting in silence for a few moments. They looked at each other, processing everything that had just happened. There was disappointment because the reunion didn't happen, but also gratitude because at least they could talk and know that RM was doing well. Jimin finally broke the silence. Well, that was unexpected, he said while laughing a little. Out of all the scenarios I imagined for this trip, a video call with RM Hyung, who turned out to be also in Switzerland, definitely wasn't on the list. Jungkook nodded in agreement. Life is full of surprises indeed. But at least now we know he's doing well and excited about the projects he's working on. That's what matters, right? You're right, Jimin answered while gazing at the mountains. Besides, we still have each other here. And there's still a lot of adventure waiting for us in Vietnam next week. Jungkook smiled. That's the spirit. Let's make the most of our time here and create memories that we'll cherish forever. They both then stood up and decided to go out for a walk again, not wanting to waste the remaining daylight. This moment actually teaches us all a valuable lesson. Sometimes in life, timing just doesn't work out perfectly. Sometimes we're in the right place, but at the wrong time. Sometimes opportunities to meet people we love are missed because of circumstances beyond our control. But that doesn't mean our relationship with that person becomes less meaningful. What's important is that we maintain the connection, still care about each other, and know that eventually, when the timing is right, we will meet again. For BTS fans all over the world who watched this episode, their reactions were very diverse. Social media was immediately flooded with posts, tweets, and comments about this moment. Many expressed their disappointment with captions like, "Why universe, why?" or "This is the most heartbreaking near miss ever." Some fans made compilation videos of their reactions, showing how they screamed when RM appeared and how they cried when he said he couldn't meet. What's most touching is how fans respected RM's decision to remain professional. Many comments said, "This is why we respect RM so much. He knows how to prioritize commitments while still showing love to his members." This moment also triggered discussions about work-life balance and the importance of keeping promises, which are valuable conversations to have. This episode also reminded fans that although BTS are superstars with glamorous lives, they're still humans with feelings and challenges just like us. They experience disappointment, they miss their friends, they have to make tough choices between personal desires and professional obligations. And in going through all that with grace and maturity, they set a good example for millions of their fans around the world. Looking ahead, this moment actually made the anticipation for BTS reunion in 2026 even higher. If a simple video call can create such emotional impact, imagine how it will feel later when all 7 members really gather again physically, performing together, creating music together, and just being the amazing group that we all fell in love with. That reunion will be one of the most significant moments in K-pop history, and we'll all be there to witness it.so in conclusion, guys. Although RM couldn't meet Jimin and Jungkook in Switzerland because he had to fly to Paris for commitments already scheduled, their video call moment still became something beautiful and meaningful. It showed us the strength of their friendship, the professionalism they hold dear, and the love they have for each other despite physical distance or busy schedules. That's it for today's video. What are your thoughts about this moment? Are you sad they couldn't meet? Or are you proud of RM's professionalism? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more BTS content. See you in the next video, ARMY. Borahi!